Welcome to the JA Football Podcast, a brand new podcast where we talk all things football. I'm your host, Jack Ever, and I'll be joined by the one and only Alex Elcock. There's a lot we want to get through in our first episode, including previewing the Euros and giving you our England starting 11s, but we'll start with our Premier League team of the seasons.
As far as keepers are concerned on the Premier League team of the season, I thought obviously Ederson's always going to have a good year. People say it's with the players in front of him, but then you've got, when you're spending 200 mil on the defence, there's not much that really can get past them. But then when Ederson has been needed, he's obviously made saves, got the most clean sheets, as well as his distribution, which, as me being a goalkeeper myself, if you can pick a 50-60 yard pass like Sterling or Mahrez straight to the feet, it's kind of speaks for itself, really.
Yeah, no, I think he's boss, mate. I think he's been the best keeper in the world for a good couple of seasons now.
Yeah, exactly. People have the debate, like him and Alisson, who's better, but I think on the day, no one's really getting past Ederson.
I find it mad that Alisson starts for Brazil ahead of him.
Exactly, yeah. Well, I suppose they're not bad second or first choice, is it?
It's
really?
not bad, yeah. Especially when we've got Pickford and Henderson or Johnson as number two.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think I'd probably agree, to be fair. He epitomises the modern keeper, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Brave, strong in the air, good distribution, as I just said. But then I'd also give a shout to Martinez. What a signing he's been.
Yeah,
from
he's
Arsenal.
been class, yeah. Arsenal definitely got the wrong end of stick there, didn't they? Hanging on to Leno.
Hanging on to Leno, and got Matty Ryan had to sign him in middle of the season. But yeah, as you say, Martinez, he's been a good signing for them. He's made some good saves, kept him in many games. I think if it weren't for him, they'd be like not where they are.
No, I'd agree, mate. Yeah, I think I'd give Ederson. Like you gave a shout out to Martinez, I'd give a shout out to Fabianski at West Ham. I think he's been decent keeper for a couple of years now,
consistent,
isn't he? Yeah, he's always a 7 out of 10, isn't he? Rarely makes mistakes.
Makes some good key saves as well.
So then, in agreement on the first one then. So the bit continues. Moving on to right back then, who you got?
I've gone for Cancelo, but I think it's a bit of a weird one, as I think it wasn't really his fault at his consistency, as we all know Pep likes to change the team around every week, even if they've won 5-0 the week before.
Yeah, if you play fantasy football, you know about that.
I know, exactly. I've had him many a time. Then he decides to get sent off when I put him in there. But yeah, I think overall he's been solid. Goals, assists, chances created, as well as making some good key tackles within like the dangerous area of the opposition.
Yeah, I think for the first half of the season he's brilliant, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he's their standout player, really.
Yeah.
But I find it difficult to put him in just because he's just dropped off the.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, he's dropped off the face of the earth. And I've gone for Koufal at West Ham, who's obviously not as good a player as Cancelo, but he's been consistent 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
The old what you want from a right back, the old Gary Neville right back. 7 out of 10 every week.
Get stuck in.
Yeah, popped up with a few assists. Defensively, he's decent. He's alright. But yeah, I'd go with him. I had to put a West Ham player in here somewhere as well, simply because they've done amazing this season. Yeah, Europa League football, when a lot of people predicted them to get relegated. But yeah,
if we look across to the West Ham back line, there's obviously Dawson. He's been at West Brom, Watford. He's had probably a hardcore career, if you would say, Championship football. But to say he's like pretty much been the heart of that defence, really. I know he's had like a Ogbonna next to him who's had a bit of a better career playing at Juventus and them, but next to Pirlo and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Moving on to centre halves then. What's your pairing? What you gone for?
I've gone for very simple Man City again with Stones and Diaz, which I don't think not many people can argue with, and I hope you're not going to argue with them, Jack.
Nah, you're not going to get any pushback from me on that one, mate.
That was alright then.
Stones has been brilliant, hasn't he? I mean, Diaz, we know he's one of the best defenders in the world, has been for a couple of years. He's still so young, isn't he? 24,
exactly,
is he?
Yeah.
It's impressive, really. But Stones has been amazing, I think. Especially where you consider he was at the end of last season, was nowhere near the England team, was nowhere near the squad, and
now he's popping up with goals as well as keeping clean sheets.
I didn't think he'd ever play for City again.
No.
Not in League Cup or nothing. Especially he was completely done.
Laporte as well. Even like Ake there. I mean, that's the thing what I was just said about Pep. Like 1 week, Stones and Diaz would get clean sheets, 6 points on the fantasy, maybe one cheeky goal,
Yeah.
and the next week they'd have Ake and Laporte in.
Yeah, and I think it's a testament to Stones as well that when Laporte played next to Diaz, they looked a bit shaky, which that's mad, isn't it, really? They're two world-class centre-halves, and Stones is always... I remember Neville and Carragher talking about it on Monday Night Football. He's a good B-side, isn't he?
Yes, exactly.
He
Yeah.
complements the other centre-half really well, brings the ball out well, good passer ball. One-on-one, he's not great, is he? But
Yeah, I'd say that.
when you play that high line, you're never really in that position anyway. It's more about reading the game.
I think we're just thankful that Company hung his boots up and moved on a few seasons ago. Otherwise, I wouldn't want to face Company and Diaz next to each
No,
other.
that'd be insane, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I don't think many people would get... Well, I don't think you'd even bother having a keeper for them sort of games. But, yeah.
No. All right then, mate. Left back. Who you gone for?
I'd also put him as most improved player. I'd go for Luke Shaw. I thought he got a great season. Like for maybe he's been injuries, he's probably had one of the worst injuries.
That was horrific, wasn't it?
I
That
know. Everyone
double
thought,
leg break. Oh.
everyone thought he was like hot property when he left Southampton, like a money move, which obviously got like a big weight on his shoulders. He's had injuries. People have been giving him fat jokes, but he's still.
Mourinho slated him, didn't
I
he?
know, yeah. And then you look at him, goals, assists, going against City.
Yeah, it's been brilliant, mate. It's been really good. As far as left backs go, in terms of linking up with the winger who links up with Rashford, saw the other day for England, that left hand side, Rashford, Grealish and Shaw, him bombing on, getting into some good areas, getting beyond the fullback, drawing the fullback out to him to let the winger run inside. I think it's been brilliant, mate. Yeah, you're going to get
I think
no disagreement with
when
me
you
on
talk
that one.
about England after they've got a great choice of either Chilwell or Shaw.
Chilwell's gone on to win the Champions League.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, his performance at the end of the season, brilliant, to be fair. Another one I'd point out was Cresswell.
Yes, good shout.
I think he's been really good.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit unlucky to miss out on the England squad as well.
Yeah,
or at least
yeah,
be in contention. Didn't really get mentioned, did
I'd say as well. I know they got relegated, but that is it. Anthony Robinson.
Yeah,
for Fulham?
yeah.
Is he
Good player,
American? Is he?
he? Mm.
Yeah, I thought he had quite a good season. Obviously, playing the poor Fulham side, but
Well, yeah. To
He'd-
stand out as
he'd
a
be one to
fullback
look
in a
out
side
for,
like
yeah.
that, yeah.
I can see him probably getting a move in the summer.
Yeah, he should get moved, shouldn't he? You'd have
Yeah.
thought so. Right then, on to your central midfield pairing. You playing two in midfield or?
Yeah, I've gone for two midfield. I've had Souček, which I think most people wouldn't have missed out, and I've also gone for Ward-Prowse, which I think was
I wasn't expecting that.
very. If you look at the England side, I know a few people was tipping him to try and get in the last spot when Trent was injured, but I think he was like his set piece delivery, like every single cross,
It's unreal, innit? Yeah.
cross the ball, free kick, corner. Like obviously Southampton got Bednarek and Vestergaard, the height at the back.
Well, yeah.
Every single set piece they chuck in the box, that's like looks for a goal. And then obviously Souček. I don't know many more midfielders who can score 10 a season.
Well, no, yeah. I think Souček's been brilliant, yeah. I'd say with Ward-Prowse, I think he's been good, yeah. I wouldn't have him in his season purely because I think Gundogan was so good.
Yeah.
Especially for that middle part of the season where he scored like 10 goals, was it, in like
In a row
15?
as
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
yeah.
it was unreal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my midfield two is Souček and Gundogan. Souček was brilliant signing, wasn't he? Box midfielder. Sort of like a Premier League version of Dave Edwards.
Yeah, I'd
Arrives
say
late
so,
into the box, yeah. Great in, yeah. But yeah,
I like that sort of player, someone who like no one's ever heard of, and they come straight in the Prem, and then everyone thinks, oh, he's cracking player, is that Souček?
yeah. Hopefully he can replicate it next season as well. They're
Yeah,
obviously going to
exactly.
have European football,
Yeah.
so you're going to have to manage his games a bit more. But yeah, he's been class. Yeah, so I've gone Souček, Gundogan in the middle then. Moving on to forward players, who have you gone for?
I've gone for De Bruyne next to Bruno Fernandes and Mohamed Salah, which I think can't go much wrong with them really. If you look at like the players around the Premier League era of like the past 10 years, like they're going to be up there with some of the best. And you look at players like Yaya Toure, David Silva, I think they're near enough getting into that category with a few more years. Like look at Salah, like playing on the right wing. I know he's more like a right forward for Liverpool, but the amount of goals, assists he scores, and then obviously De Bruyne, where he can pick a pass with his vision and awareness.
Genuinely world class, them two, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, Salah, he probably gets a bit of stick because he's not the most aesthetically pleasing, is he? You watch a game, he'll do nothing for 80 minutes and then he'll pop up with 2 goals late on. But that's a skill in itself, isn't it? I've seen people this year been rating like Mahrez ahead of Salah, and that's simply because he's aesthetically pleasing to watch, isn't he?
I do like Mahrez. He's probably one of my favourite players in the league.
To watch, but he's not in Salah's league, is he?
Yeah.
He skips past players nice.
When Mahrez gets it on his left foot and he has a shot.
Yeah, he's bosh, yeah.
That's the same as Salah as well. They're both like, as soon as it's on their left foot and they got a shot, like they're in mini.
Yeah, we think how good Kane's has been this year, and we'll get onto that later. But Salah finished 1 goal behind him.
Exactly, yeah.
As I know, he pretty much is, like you said, he's an inside forward, isn't he? He's not an out-and-out winger. But still, to score that many goals coming inside, I think the only player really that's replicated what he's done over the last couple of years was Ronaldo from 06 to 09.
Yeah,
and other than that, there's no one else in his league, is there really?
Maybe chuck Hazard in there for that 1 or 2 seasons he had when he was at his best.
Yeah. So then, mate, getting on to mine then, I've gone for Fernandes, agreeing with you. Same again with him, he's not the most aesthetically pleasing, is he?
No.
But he pops up with goals, pops up in assists, and realistically, stats speak for himself, don't they, really? You didn't have this one, but I've gone with Grealish off the left.
Good shout.
I think he was so good for the first 3 quarters of the season. I just couldn't leave him out.
And you can see how Villa struggled. I know I'm coming from an opposing side, but
as Wolves fans,
when he was injured, like you could see Villa, they went down from like 7th to like 13th stages.
Completely dropped out the race for European football, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I always used to have arguments with Villa fans because I felt like he held on to the ball too long, especially when they're playing the Championship, which is a slightly different style of football. He'd get the ball in attacking areas and he'd want 3-4 touches every time he get on the ball, and then look to drive at players, take people on, similar to Adama does now.
Yeah,
he wants too long on the ball.
And I think players have come aware to that, sticking like 2 or 3 men on, take him down as fast as you can.
Yeah, but his improvements over the last 18 months have been brilliant. He's bulked out a bit as well, which I think's helped. And I think similar to, I remember listening to Sir Alex Ferguson talking about years ago about Jesse Lingard when he was coming through and saying that the type of player he is, he's not going to be world class at 18, 19, 20. It's going to be when he gets to 24, 25, when he's bulked out a little bit, grown into a man, that he's going to become a top class footballer.
Got some adult shin pads and pulled his socks up and he'll be alright.
And I think that's similar to Grealish.
Yeah.
I think he's been unreal last 18 months. So yeah, he gets in for me. And then the other player in for me was Salah, same as you.
Yeah.
I agree. So yeah, all we got to do now, mate, is
Just
finish off with a striker. Yeah.
Just say Harry Kane.
Yeah. So then up front, I've gone for William Jose.
Oh no. I think I've got Fabio Silva.
Yeah. But he's just unreal.
If you look at Harry Kane, he's like, I was watching some England training video the other day. I think he had about 10 shots and I think 10 went in bottom corners, top corners.
Yeah.
I think it's harder for him to miss than score most of the time.
He's brilliant, yeah. The most impressive thing is as well his link-up play. And that's sort of come on since Mourinho's come in. He's always been a good passer of the ball.
Yeah.
Hence why he was on corners in the 2016 Euros. Best striker in the world for you, or?
It's a close call between him and Lewandowski.
Yeah, it's a close one. I think Lewandowski's probably slightly a better finisher.
Yeah.
And his movement's probably slightly better. But all-round footballer, I don't think there's many in world football that are better than Kane.
No, I think we need to try and arrange something and get him to have a little shootout and see.
Yeah, whack you and goal.
Yeah, Sunday League pitch. See if there's any differences playing on the carpets that they play on.
Yeah, I doubt it, mate. But yeah, if England win the Euros, which I'm sure we'll get onto later, is he in contention for the Ballon d'Or?
I think because overall Tottenham had a poor season, haven't they? Really?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I know, obviously, they lost the manager. I don't know what the reason was behind that.
Brilliant up until Christmas as well, weren't they?
I know, yeah.
Top of the league, flying. Beat United 6-1, was it?
Yeah. Kane
and
Son
dropped off, yeah.
And you look at, I think if Tottenham would have had a better season, then I think maybe, but I think it was because they've had a poor season. I know it shouldn't be looked on for a single player, but I think your team's obviously got to do well if you can't be the best player in the world and your team's finish up mid-table kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. So I'll just quickly rattle back through my team of the season. I've got Ederson goal, back four of Kufal from West Ham, Diaz Stones from Manchester City, Shaw from United, Souček West Ham, Gundogan playing 2 holding midfielders, then 3 in Grealish off the left, Salah off the right, Fernandes down the middle, and then Kane playing in front of them.
Not gone with De Bruyne, Jack. I'm
I
disappointed.
don't think
there.
he's been that good this year.
No.
I think he's been alright. He's won PFA Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I don't think
He's good, obviously. He's a world-class footballer, but
Yeah.
I couldn't pick him above any of them, to be honest.
I think maybe the downside was that obviously the way the Pep plays, but obviously De Bruyne is one of them who, if you leave out, you got to perform. If you're in his boots, well, we'll get on to later for the young player where Foden's picked up in that position, but then. Yeah, as I can say, he hasn't the best season, but he's always going to have a good season, isn't he?
He's always going to be in contention, isn't he?
Yeah.
Especially when City have won the league. So it's
Exactly,
not
yeah.
a ridiculous shout at all, mate. But getting on to our Premier League awards of the season then. First of all, Player of the Year.
Can I just give some special mentions with the Team of the Year?
Yeah, go for it.
Obviously I've had three here. We've got Ings, Neto and Calvert-Lewin, which I think I've put them down here as a half a season wonder.
Yeah,
if we look
that's
at
spot on, to be fair.
obviously Calvert-Lewin and Ings was banging in the goals the first half, as well as Neto. Obviously, when Jimenez got injured, it was up to him to score the goals. Really is.
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin scored like 12 goals by Christmas, hadn't he?
And then he had like a little injury, and then never really got back to form. And that's the same as Ings. Ings was banging him in, and then obviously he got a serious injury.
Yeah, Ings is just unlucky, isn't he? Because he's a
Yeah.
top footballer.
Exactly,
I think
yeah.
Calvert-Lewin is always going to be the type of striker that needs 3 chances to score one.
Yeah, true. And
He's
I
not a
think-
great finisher, is he?
I think Duncan Ferguson's had a big impact on
Yeah.
Calvert-Lewin. How he got him.
Similar type of players, aren't they?
Mhm.
I mean, I think Duncan Ferguson was a better footballer, wasn't he, all
Yeah.
round? But,
Put your head where it hurts to get
well,
him
yeah.
across.
Aerially, he's unreal, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like that England game the
jump-
other day,
he got
yeah.
yellow- did he get a yellow card for it in the end?
I don't know, yeah.
Jumped 6 foot after
I know,
the
yeah.
end.
Insane.
That was a nasty fall. He come down.
Well, yeah. Some honourable mentions for me as well. I'd say Mason Mount
Yeah, good shot.
in midfield, probably a bit unlucky to not get into the team.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think he's been excellent. But yeah, that's about it, mate. Should we get back to Premier League awards this season then?
Yeah, can do.
Player of the Year, who you gone for?
I've gone for Harry Kane. I think
Yeah.
he's kind of carried that Tottenham team. I'll just reiterate why he's in the starting 11 in my team, really.
Yeah, no disagreement from me, mate. I think he's been the best player in the league by
Yeah.
some distance, really.
But if he's
Most goals,
if he's scoring
most
goals
assists.
and assists in a poor team, imagine if he goes
Yeah.
on to which colour Manchester next, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I think whoever gets him wins the league.
Good shot, yeah. If you think, imagine if he was in that Man City team with Gabriel Jesus behind him or even next to him.
I think even the United team, I think they bridge that gap to City then, if they get
Yeah.
Kane.
But then again, another mention, say Cavani, he's had a Man U have struggled for goals this year. Well, not this year, but like other seasons. And Cavani stepped up, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
no, he's been class. I don't think even United fans are expecting him to be as good as he's been.
No.
But yeah, mate, no disagreement from me. First player since Andy Cole, wasn't he, to get most goals and most
I did read
assists.
that, yeah.
Did you see in that, I think it was 92-93 season as well, Andy Cole scored like 9 more goals than Kane did this year and got like the same amount of assists. Unreal. I think they played 42 games though, didn't they?
Ah, maybe. Oh, yeah, that season was, yeah.
But still, that's,
Exactly, yeah.
that's unbelievable, yeah. Top player Andy Cole was, to be fair. Coach of the year then. I know we disagree on this one a little bit, don't we, mate?
Yes, but I'm glad we have, to be honest, because I do rate your shout. I've obviously gone for Pep, obviously.
Yeah.
People say like he's got big boots to fill at City, but you look at he's done it in other teams, hasn't he? Barcelona, Bayern Munich. He's not messed about. I mean, obviously the players he's managing is a bit different to
Yeah.
trying to coach your standard Premier League players. I know he's got like world class, but even so, like you don't come to England and then win that much in such.
No, it's no
Short term.
it's no it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence, is it, that he's successful everywhere he goes. The only thing I'd say is, what was the expectation from Manchester City at the start of this season? It was probably to win the league,
Yeah,
and he's done so. Whereas with my shout, David Moyes,
yeah,
people were tipping West Ham for relegation,
exactly. Yeah.
and
I think even the West Ham fans were
Oh,
not
well,
feeling
yeah.
confident as well.
yeah, well, they're not the most optimistic bunch, are they?
I
To be fair,
suppose.
but yeah, I'd go Moyes to get European football. I think is unbelievable for
Nobody
West Ham.
expected that at the start of the season.
No way. And to be fair, when you look at that team, it's not brilliant. Like you said, he's got workhorses
Yeah.
like who've been around the block,
Older
like
players,
Dawson.
yeah, Dawson. even
Ogbonna never really worked up
Fabianski,
until
yeah,
recently.
older players.
But yeah, their recruitment's been really good as well,
Yeah.
bringing in like Ben Rama,
Souček,
Souček.
Kufel.
what's Bowen.
Yes.
Lingard's been an unreal loan signing for him. But yeah,
I think it did Lingard well this season going out on loan. So obviously,
100%, yeah.
He's not going to get in front of Fernandes, is he? Because that's really like the only player where that only position what Man United play. Where I think if you throw him anywhere else, whereas I think West Ham's a good move for him because obviously they play like nice attacking football. You got obviously you just said Bowen, Benrahma, Antonio, which I think Antonio's had a good season as well.
Yeah.
So he's been there 4 or 5 years now. It's like the first time he's turned up really.
I think for anyone outside of the top 6, he's a brilliant signing. The only problem is when he's playing for United or something, when they're playing against, I don't know, a low block against Burnley or something, he's going to struggle to break teams down, isn't he? Because he just hasn't got that quality. His best qualities are off the ball. He's pressing, which is why he played so often for Mourinho. But yeah, and a lot of his best attributes sort of become redundant when he's playing for a team that dominate possession. But outside of the top 6, he'd be a brilliant signing for anyone. Be interested to see where he goes, to be honest.
Yeah, I hope he does stay at West Ham, but I think maybe Newcastle are after him. I've seen in the papers.
Yeah, any move like that, like sort of those mid-table clubs, I think it'd be brilliant.
Then they'd love it, wouldn't they, Newcastle fans?
Well, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Best signing then, mate. Who have you gone for?
Signing, I've gone for Ruben Diaz, which I think it's not easy coming to England, like where you got to prove yourself. Like a big, was it 75 million? Was it like a big target? 24 is he now? So quite hard to prove yourself, especially at that level. And then
which happened a lot, hasn't it, mate? Players that have come from abroad, especially on the continent, with a big reputation, world-class footballers, it just hasn't worked out. Look at Falcao, players like that just hasn't really clicked for.
Depay.
So for him to come in and just dominate from minute one has been really impressive. I think outside of Van Dijk, he's probably the best centre-back in the world at the minute. Yeah. And Van Dijk's injured at the minute, so he's been the best centre-back in the world this season. Yeah. My best signing would be Martinez.
Yes, good shout.
For Villa. That had been a bit of a problem, hadn't it, for Villa last year. Goalkeeper, they sort of chopped and changed and never really got a settled number one.
I remember when they come down to the Molineux, I think the first choice keeper out, I think it was Tom Heaton, and then I think was it Jed Steer started, and I think he got injured in that first 20 minutes.
The third choice ended up coming in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Martinez has been unreal. I remember him down the Wolves, and he wasn't anything special, was it?
No,
I think that season he was in contention with Kujak and Hakimi.
Yeah.
We had them three, which is decent keepers for Championship, to be fair, isn't it? And the way he's improved since then, I never really understood why Arsenal got rid.
Exactly. No,
if I was them, I'd have been sending Leno all day long.
Yeah.
And you'd probably got more for Leno.
Probably.
German international.
Yeah.
But yeah, Martinez for me has done exactly what you want him to do. Came in.
And I think he likes
claims crosses. He's brilliant. I don't know what you think as a keeper, mate, but technically I think he's really good.
I think he likes being there. I think the best thing he does is that makes like, you would say like dramatic saves, but they're like goal saving saves.
Young player of the year. Who have you gone for?
I've gone for Philip Foden.
Yeah.
I think he's just been world class, and I think he's got to give credit to, I'd say, David Silva, as obviously he's coming to his end of his Man City career just as Foden was starting his
good timing, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then who better to look up to than David Silva? Obviously it's big boots to fill, but I think he's filled them fine.
No, yeah. I mean, and to be honest to Pep, fair play to him. He's brought him through exactly as you want him to. He sort of gave him game time here, game time there. He hasn't thrown him in at the deep end like a lot of people were clamouring for, weren't they? They was saying we hope Foden goes on loan, gets some more minutes, but he brought him through really well. And even this season, he hasn't been played into the ground.
No,
I think he's only started like 18 games, hasn't he?
Chopped and changed.
Yes, Pep does, yeah. But he's been brilliant.
I'd love to see Pep's fancy football team.
He clearly doesn't play, mate.
No, he's definitely just got the Man City players who knows he's going to start at the weekend.
Yeah, but I'd go Foden, yeah. I think he's been brilliant. His best performances have probably come in the Champions League.
Yes, correct.
But still, for Young Player of the Year, one thing that really annoys me about Young Player of the Year as well, every year, he's like 24-year-olds getting involved. You're not a young player at 24, are you?
Yeah.
You borderline in your prime.
Yeah.
Players like Diaz shouldn't be up for Young Player of the Year. He's got like 30 caps for Portugal, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, getting on to goal of the season. What have you got for? It's all about tasting it, really.
I've got two here. Still undecided, so I'm just going to give both. I'm going to say...
Oh, come on, you got to pick one.
I'm going to go
sitting on the fence.
I'm going to go... Well, my second choice was Ferran Torres' what do you call it? Scorpion?
Yeah, a little flick.
Yeah, against Newcastle, but just because he's done it before and he can probably do it again, I'm going to go for Lamella's Rabona, especially in a North London derby.
Yeah, I think it shows how good a goal that is, that with things like this, recency bias plays a big part, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Like, I've gone for Cavani's dink, which it was like on the last game of the season. You've gone for a goal that was like on the last game of the season.
Yeah.
And that Lamella one still sticks in your head, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And Lamella's done it twice before.
Oh, that first one was unreal as well in the Europa League.
Like the top corner as well.
Yeah. I don't know how they generate the power.
I'd love to know. Especially picking out the spot in the corner as well.
Oh, it was a brilliant goal. It's just a shame they lost the game, because that would have been talked about a lot more if that was the winning goal. They go on to win it. Yeah. But yeah, my goal this season, like I mentioned, was probably a bit of recency bias, but I've got to win Cavani's dink. Yeah. With the fans back in as well. That roar as he looks up and just starts to dink it. Reminds me of Beckham's against West Ham.
Yes. Or Rooney's against West Ham. When Joe was in
Paul
goal.
West Ham.
Yeah, exactly.
But moving on to flop of the season then.
I've gone for... I've got Werner down for this one.
Yeah.
Not because he's a bad player, I just think that obviously big price tag, scoring goals over in Germany, obviously I think...
He was expected to come in and score 20 goals, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I think like Chelsea have struggled really for that top goal scorer since they've lost Drogba. My
thing with Werner is, I think he'll come good.
Yeah.
Simply because with a striker, I never tend to worry if they're getting into the right positions. If they're getting into the right positions, even if they're missing all the chances, it is a slight case of luck with them. Like next season, he gets on a run, gets his confidence up. I think he could score 15 plus goals next year.
Would you say that about Willian Jose?
Oh no, mate, he's had about one chance. His movement's non-existent, isn't it?
No, he's had two. One was VAR.
He's the worst footballer I've seen at Wolves for a while.
Yeah, for a while. I think I'm telling you, it's the Wolves number 12 shirt. We've had Danny Graham, Yannick Sagbo.
Yeah, that's not a great list.
Ben Marshall.
Yeah, Ben Marshall was alright for a bit.
One of Paul Lambert's signings.
I've gone in a slightly different direction with flop of the season. With these, I always try and look at like their expectations, what they're expected to do. Ryan Brewster coming to Sheffield United. Was it, how much did they get for him? 20 mil?
23 mil, I think
23
it was.
mil. And he's been non-existent.
Yeah. I mean, he's only young, but I feel like I've heard he's been hearing his name for 5-6 years.
Well, yeah, he played in that I think he was very fortunate. He played in that under-17 group that won the World Cup.
Yeah.
But he had Foden, Sancho, Gibbs White behind him. Yeah, well, exactly, yeah.
What a player.
And as a striker at youth level, when you've got players like Foden and Sancho in behind you, you're always going to score goals, aren't you? Yeah, I think me and you would grab a couple. Might be a bit of an exaggeration.
Yeah.
But
No,
I like the confidence.
We'll have to get down to Darlaston goals and then to see what it's about.
So, mate, I think that wraps up our Premier League awards nicely. Yeah. Shall we move straight on to what I think everyone will be listening for?
Yeah, England.
Our England starting 11.
Yeah.
Big job for Gareth Southgate.
Exactly.
Fitting everyone in. Let's see how we do. If you want to give your goalkeeper first, and we'll go through that way.
Well, I think if obviously Pope was unlucky picking up an injury, and I think Pickford kind of chooses himself. I know we've got Henderson, and I'd give a good shout to Johnson. I think if it wasn't for him this year, I think West Brom would have been relegated by Christmas.
Yeah.
But then I think Pickford kind of picked himself, and I think he's passionate as well. He's obviously been there before, won a shootout for us. So.
The experience is important, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And he's also coming to form. Back end of the season, he sort of took that Everton number one spot back.
Slicked it back.
Yeah, it's the haircut, mate. Yeah. It's the haircut. Done wonders for him.
Yeah. And I think he's got the passion. He'll give everything as well. The fans 50-50 on him, but I think as soon as he starts saving a few one-on-ones, they'll love him.
Yeah. His distributions, I mean, in the friendlies the other day, his distribution is world class, isn't it? It's only Ederson really I can think of, goalkeeper wise, that has better distribution.
Yeah, true.
I know people criticise him and say he just lashes it, but he really doesn't.
Yeah.
Some of the passes he picks through the lines are brilliant. And I remember in particular a Spain game when we beat them 3-2 away
Got it, yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Eric Dyer scored the winner. Yeah.
But when two of our goals, I think it was Sterling and Rashford, wasn't it? But it was the exact same goal. Kane came deep, long ball from Pickford into his feet. He controls it, turns, picks one in behind, and we'll probably get onto that a bit later with why Kane needs runners in behind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd agree, mate. Pickford for me.
Do you reckon he's going to have get the rave on his boots? I think.
Yeah, well, he's got something else on him now, hasn't he? He's got another little catchphrase he goes for.
Yeah.
I think he's a good enough keeper. I think the international keepers as well, it's a weird one. Do you remember Fabien Barthez for France? Played for Manchester United. He was awful for United, but for France he was unreal.
That's the thing. I think people like playing for the country. They're probably like think, yeah, come on. Especially in like a major tournament, they're thinking, right, come on, it's time to shine now. Go on then. Are you having any centre backs?
This is a difficult one because I don't know if Maguire's fit. I'm just going to go on the presumption that he is.
Yeah.
That he's going to be able to play the first game. So I'd go Maguire Stones. I think that really writes itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've gone for that the same. And I think it's down to the Maguire injury, which formation we play. Because
do you think he'll go to a 5 if Maguire's not fit?
I think that could be... Well, saying that, he's picked Ben White today. Which obviously... Personally, I think if Maguire's fit 4, but then I think we're going to have to go to the 5 just because...
Yeah, I don't trust our other centre-back options if Maguire's fit. I think he's our best centre-back.
Yeah. Especially for England as well. I think like he's another one who like ups his game kind of thing.
Yeah.
And obviously with set pieces with England, we all remember that from the World Cup.
Yeah. I've got Maguire Stones then, and then I think if you pick them two, you have to pick Walker.
Yeah, correct.
On the right. Not only because the relationship with Stones from playing at City obviously, but also because of his pace. And he's used to playing in a back three with them from the 2018 World Cup.
That's what I was thinking. So if Maguire's not fit, I'd go for Stones in the middle, Walker on the right, and then I'd probably put Mings on the left just because he's left-footed, and obviously I'm sure he'd love a bit of international football.
Well, yeah. I don't want Tyrone Mings playing in
Euros. Who are you having instead?
I've obviously gone with back. Oh, if you play a back 5, you mean?
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I think you're probably right. Probably would have to be Mings.
Because I know Southgate likes, not saying being biased with the Wolves, but I know Southgate likes Cody and the way he play 5 at the back, which I think Cody's had for. This will be his 5th year now going into.
Yeah.
If the new.
I just think him and Stones are similar footballers. I think he'll always pick Stones over him.
But there's either. But obviously Ben White now, Cody or Mings, but then
it's not great options, is it?
Does Southgate's choice of picking Ben White today indicate that Maguire is unfit?
I think especially in the centre back area and the midfield areas, our quality's good, but our depth just isn't there.
No.
As soon as you get one injury, the next one that's coming in is just not up to standard at all.
When we go into the midfield, that's even more sparse. Sparser choices, especially the centre midfield.
Yeah, I presume not going to disagree too much. Left back, Luke Shaw.
Yeah, we talked about him enough in the Premier League. So
I think Chilwell could play though.
Yeah,
especially how he's finished the season, obviously winning the Champions League.
I'd give him a few games each.
Yeah, I think especially if he played at 5. I think I might play Chilwell.
Yeah.
I think he's probably better in that position, isn't he? Because obviously that's what Chelsea have been playing recently. But yeah, getting into midfield then, you got a 2 sitting in front of the back forward.
I've got a single and then I've got 2 like attacking-ish midfielders.
Like 3-8,
Yeah.
Alright, so my sitting midfielder, defensive middle, I'm sure is same as yours, is Declan Rice.
Yes.
Who's been brilliant for West Ham this season, hasn't he?
But then that's another one I was just saying about that. You look at the midfield options. I did say this the other day. I said when people was arguing about who should we take, Ward-Prowse, Lingard, and I was thinking, for me, England's in the centre defensive mid, the holding. You look at the options we've took in the 23-man squad. You've got Rice, a Henderson who's played 1 game since January,
and
Calvin Phillips.
Phillips,
he's a decent player, but not very experienced with European football. Is he ready there?
No. I think he could play where Rice plays.
Yeah, but I don't think he could play on his own. I think he'd have to play with...
Yeah, possibly, I think you'd have to sort of accommodate him by playing another sitting midfield
Yeah.
next to him, yeah.
Because if you look at Leeds, they've got him and is it Click on the play next to him.
Yeah, so I'd go Rice, and then I don't think Henderson's going to be fit to start the first game, is he? So I'd go, probably similar to you, I'd play Mount next to him as a number 8, or Bellingham.
Good shout. Yeah.
Decide if you want to be a bit more compact.
Good shout after every play you've said today, Jack. But yeah, I've agreed with Mount as well. But I've gone for Rice in the holding, then I've got Foden and Mount just in front. As
Yeah. Bit attacking that, you think, on eh?
Well, I don't really know, because say if we do play the 4 at the back, I think Rice could easily just drop into maybe a 5, play in the centre, and then have Foden and Mount just drop a bit more.
Yeah, I think Mount is good enough to be able to drop a bit, isn't he? If you get in, dominated in midfield, he can.
Yeah.
I think he's more than capable in playing with Rice in a 2 rather than pushing on and being more of a number 6 and a number 8.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Foden doesn't stop running either, so.
Well, no, yeah. So then for me, I've got Foden in the 10. I've got Grealish off the left.
Mm-hmm.
And controversially, I think I've got Sterling off the right.
Oh.
I'll give you my reasoning right. Sterling is nowhere. Well, yeah, Sterling has had nowhere near as good a season as Sancho or some of the other players you could play there.
Rashford, better than Rashford, do you reckon?
It was between Sterling and Rashford for me, simply because I don't think you can have Sancho there as well. Yeah, with like how I mentioned earlier, with Kane, you have to have runners in behind.
Yeah.
If you play Kane, Grealish, Foden, they're all coming to the ball. You got no one to stretch the pitch. Got no one running in behind, and you saw that the other day in the friendlies with Kane coming deep.
Yeah.
And it's easy for teams to defend that.
Yeah, true.
You need runners in behind, stretching the pitch, and Rashford is genuinely world class at doing that.
Yeah.
So I think I'd probably go with either Sterling or Rashford.
I've got Grealish and Sancho either side of Kane up front.
Okay, yeah.
Which I think's smart. But then when we're defending, it'll be like a 5-2-3.
And then obviously Kane up top.
Yeah.
I think they're good teams, that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Moving on then to previewing the Euros.
Special mentions.
Football's coming home, yeah?
Yeah, definitely this year. Maybe only to the final though. I don't know about all the way. I've got it down here as I think France will beat England in the final.
Yeah.
I think like in the World Cup last time, I think as much as I'd love England to win it, I think we had the easy.
Oh, we had a good
We
run,
had an
didn't
easy run, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like
Getting to a semi-final by beating Tunisia, Panama, and Sweden and Colombia on pens. Yeah, it's not bad, that.
I mean, we had hard work a bit against Colombia, but I think
Yeah, we did half, yeah. Especially considering they were missing their best player.
yeah. And then I think like France have just got that much quality, haven't they?
Yeah.
When players like Emerick Laporte changing nations and get game time,
Yeah.
and we're just deciding whether we want Tyrone Mings or Ben White starting.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, France's strength in depth is just unreal. And I thought they might struggle a little bit because they didn't really have a number 9. Giroud's obviously not played much football, aging a little bit. And then this month, turns out Benzema's making a return to the national team for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they're nailed on winners, to be honest. I don't see anyone getting close to him.
I might get Benzema on the back of my shirt this year, just in case.
The drip king.
Yeah.
But yeah, who have you gone for best player then?
Best player, I've just said him. I've got Benzema.
Benzema, yeah.
I think.
He looked good in the friendlies, to be fair.
And then
Mbappe and Griezmann either side of him as well.
Experience, can score a goal out of anything.
Yeah. I've actually gone for Grealish. It was for me.
This is a weird one when you tell me earlier, but now come to think of it, I can see where it
It's
comes
between
from.
Grealish and Foden for me. I think England will have a good tournament. I think we'll play well. I think we'll play attacking football. I think we'll score quite a few goals. I still think we'll probably go out in the round of 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think how the group works, we'll end up getting if we win our group, which I think we will, we'll get the second place out of group of death.
Yeah, true.
So we're either going to get Portugal, France or Germany.
Yeah.
I think we beat Germany. We lose to France and Portugal, I think.
Maybe, yeah. I think
We've got a chance against Portugal.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we take it touchdown penalties of Portugal.
Well, you know how that goes then.
Exactly, yeah. Well, I was told you, if Pickford slicks it back, I think we'll be alright.
Right then, who's your dark horse?
Dark horse, which I did fancy, And I had a cheeky little bet on these to win the World Cup. I had Croatia at, I think it's 33-1 when I put it on, and then obviously I
Got to the final. Cash out on that or no?
No, let it run. Lost in the end, but it was alright.
Yeah, no, that was brilliant. I know Modric won the Ballon d'Or, didn't he? Which was a bit of a farce, but still. For me, it's Denmark and Turkey.
Yeah.
Denmark, I think, have got some real quality players. Obviously, Eriksen, who sort of reinvented himself at Inter Milan, hasn't he? Had a good season. Højbjerg, who's been brilliant for Tottenham this season. They've got Poulsen up front, hasn't he? The big lad. Also got Braithwaite. He signed for Barcelona. Who hasn't played a lot of football this year, but they're decent players.
They'll get stuck in.
And it's more that I don't really think Denmark are expected to do anything.
No.
They're probably going to be, like the perception is they're going to be looking to get out of the group. I think they're a lot better than that. And then Turkey, the big man up front.
I've heard a lot of people talk about Turkey, but I don't want to jump on the bandwagon. And
I think that is probably what I'm doing, to be fair, yeah. But they've got some decent players. Soyuncu, who's had a decent season for Leicester.
Hard as nails.
Well, yeah, sometimes to his detriment, to be fair. He always wants to battle. They've obviously got Yilmaz up top. He's been bagging the goals for Lille this season.
That geezer who went on loan to West Brom at the end of the season, that Yokushlu. I thought he had a good end of the season. Yeah,
also Unders, who plays for Leicester.
Check out Under.
Bitek Mahrez.
Yeah, that's what that's
He hasn't really played this season, has he? But another decent player. I think they'll do alright. But yeah, mate, I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. Golden Boot.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I know you've been on Sky Bet and had your £10 for this free bet boost. Have your free tenner on your top goal scorer of the tournament.
Yeah, jump on it.
Yeah, I've had I think it's going to be Kane myself. I just think he's going to bag that many goals in the group stages.
Yeah, I think with Kane, the only thing is I don't think we'll go that deep into the tournament.
No.
So I think he might be leading by the time we go out.
Exactly, yeah.
But I think people will catch him up.
Penalties, that's what we need.
I think Benzema's nailed on, to be honest.
I think it'll be close. But then also got to look at Lukaku for Belgium. And you got Tielemans.
Yeah, Lukaku's a good shout.
Tielemans fetching the ball, giving it to De Bruyne.
He's had a good season, Lukaku, as well.
Where do you want it, Lukaku?
Yeah, scored 20 plus goals, hasn't he? Aim to win the league. But yeah, that about wraps up then, mate.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks for listening to our very first podcast. If you enjoyed it, please don't hesitate to give it a share on any of our social media platforms. You can find us at the JA Football Podcast on both Facebook and Instagram, and then the JA Football P1 on Twitter.